Hello, everyone, and welcome to Civic Platform. This is your host, Zuher Almusre. Today, I met Fanny Levy, the Director of International Center at University of Manitoba. And the topic today is about the challenge the international student face here in Winnipeg. So there is a lot, and through this episode and from the expert guest today, she will try to answer and give a nice solutions for the international student to pass their challenges. So let's find out how the international student pass their challenges in Winnipeg. So let's jump right in. Hello, Fanny. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you. What about you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much to accept our invitation, and I'm glad to have you on my show, Civic Platform.
I'm glad to be here.
Fanny, if we start with introducing yourself, who are you and what are you doing?
So my name is Fanny Levy, and I'm the director of the International Center at University of Manitoba. So we are part of what's called student affairs. So we are one of the many areas at U of M that provides different types of supports to all students register at U of M. And there is a misconception sometimes that International Center is focused on supporting international students only, but we also help domestic students in some of the opportunities for learning outside of the classroom.
I see. So the International Center start with the starting of the University of Manitoba, or it's something they created later?
So my understanding is that support to international students has existed for as long as we welcome international students. It may have had a different name in the past, but as of an International Center started in the 1990s, it has had different names, different focus, depending on what the needs were or what the priorities of university were at the time. But we've been here to support students for quite a long time.
So if the student now register in the university, how he can register with the International Center? Like, or that's something, a step he have to do it first. So there is like a registration for the center?
No. So any University of Manitoba student that has a UMID that is registered can come to see us or reach out to us for one-on-one support or to participate in one of the many activities that we offer. And as I said, it is for all University of Manitoba students, domestic, international, undergraduate, graduate students, and also those that are attending extended education programs.
So if someone from outside of the country want to be one of the like a student in our university, in this case they have to contact the center first, or they have like a different department they have to contact before, I mean the international student?
So there are a number of steps. So if someone is a prospective student, right, someone that is interested and want to know more about U of M programs, courses, there is another office responsible for recruitment. So there is a recruitment office at U of M that promotes University of Manitoba to high schools and overseas. So their role is to participate in international events and also provide information of programs and options for potential students to join U of M. Now, when they apply to to University of Manitoba and they are admitted as students, and in most cases international students, they can contact us and we can provide supports or information, in terms of travel arrangements, questions about immigration application, what documents are needed to apply for a study permit. We also answer questions about housing options, quarantine and vaccine requirements during the pandemic and after the pandemic. So we either provide information ourselves or we refer them to other areas of U of M that can provide those supports. So we're not always able to answer all the questions, but we will find others at U of M that can provide them with the informational resources.
Hmm. So when I visit the website, I saw like many of resource or programs offered by the international centers. Can you tell me like more about it? The international center, what organized for the student, every year or every month in general, what your programs looks like?
Yes, so we have two main areas. One is what our advising and transitions team, and that provides one-on-one advising. So if students have specific questions, they are not comfortable in, sharing their situation in a group setting, they make an appointment with one of our advisors and they will guide them through their journey, whatever information they need. So that's offered throughout the year. Then we also offer a number of orientation supports for new international students. So last couple of weeks of August, for example, we offer a number of orientation sessions for those starting this fall, in person and virtual. So it's a combination of learning how to register for courses, getting settled, what kind of engagement opportunities they may have, volunteering opportunities. Then we offer sessions on housing, health coverage, and so many other workshops that are being offered throughout the month of September. Mm-hmm. And then if you visited our website, you would have seen that we also offer a number of sessions throughout the year. How to get prepared for the winter, right? Mm-hmm. How to get involved in the U of M community to make new friends, leadership opportunities, mentorship opportunities. So that happens throughout the year. And then the second area that we focus on is what we call our mobility team, and they offer opportunities for domestic students to go on exchange programs in other countries, and it's typically with universities that we have a partnership with. There are many universities around the world with whom we have these partnerships. And also we welcome exchange students that chose Manitoba and U of M to complete a term or 2 terms. Just last week, we had an orientation for all incoming exchange students. So it's an opportunity for our domestic students to also experience other cultures in other countries and make new friends and connections that would last forever. And the third piece that is very important is that we manage a number of financial awards, scholarships, and bursaries to help those students that choose to go on exchange programs. We help them financially to cover some of those costs.
I see. So all these workshops and orientations, it's help the student, especially the international, to face their challenges here in Winnipeg. It looks for them like a new city and everything new for them. What the most challenging today the international student face from your experience and like the most things they are suffer from today, especially we are starting the season, this they are starting now the study, the new year, and how you can help them to solve it.
So challenges vary, right, based on where they're coming from, or in some cases, what they've gone through in the past 2 years, being feeling isolated and not feeling part of the larger university community because they were, in most cases, completing their programs remotely, right? So that was a challenge that we know students faced in the past couple of years. Depending on when they reach out to us, they may have different challenges. So this year there was a delay in obtaining study permits. I'm sure you've seen and heard that there is a backlog of applications, so processing times were longer. So the students were faced with a lot of stress and uncertainty about whether they were able to come and start the full courses. And so that's one challenge that we heard from students recently. Feeling integrated with the local community could be a challenge too. So that's why we offer programs such as leadership programs or mentorship programs. When they interact with more experienced students, both domestic and international, they guide them through their journey, they help them navigate the community, and this goes beyond the classroom, right? How do they participate and get involved in other extracurricular activities so they feel that they belong to the U of M community? There might be challenges with housing, finding appropriate and affordable housing. So we provide them with resources and information about options both on campus and off campus. But challenges vary. Sometimes they're looking for employment opportunities during their studies, and also what kind of career opportunities are available to them after graduation. So we try to help them connect with career services at U of M, so they can help them plan and prepare for what happens after graduation if they choose to stay in the province.
Mhm. So, like a follow-up question for this. I met many of international students. After they graduate, they plan to stay in in the province, and they don't want to go back to their home countries, for example. And they don't. They have like a little bit challenge to change their statement here in Canada from student visa to permanent resident. And this journey sometimes it takes a little bit long process, and they stuck like far away from their families. How the international center can assist this kind of student who face this kind of challenge, because they said we are very down in mentally, and we need to see our family. Some of them they get engaged, for example, and with like another woman or man in their home country, and they want to bring them here, and that process sometimes takes long for like a year. So how the international center help them in this case?
So just to be clear, we are not immigration consultants, so we're not able to provide immigration advice. What we do is we put together a series of workshops where licensed immigration consultants speak to students that are still in completing their programs. So this is before graduation. So we offer three to five sessions a year. So we at the beginning of the year we explain what having a study permit allows them to do and what are the conditions for different types of study permits. So that's the beginning of the year because they just arrived. But a few months after that, we have sessions on applying for a post-graduation work permit, which is the next step, right? When they are close to graduation, we want them to know what is required to apply for that work permit. And then what are the conditions they need to meet to keep that work permit and meet the conditions of it. And then at a certain point, we also welcome or invite the provincial government to come and talk to students about the provincial nominee program and what are the requirements to apply. And the federal government, IRCC, we also invite them to come and talk to our students about permanent residence options. So we try to offer them, a series of workshops so they are prepared in advance, so they don't wait until after graduation to know what happens next.
Mm-hmm. So you, as a director of the International Center, I saw you in the Grand Mosque when Minister John Riaz met with the public, and you was there, and you give also some advices, and you give some, how that's important for you and for your center to be there on public and share your services and give that information for the everyone who needs. So tell me about your participation that day.
So it was a good opportunity for the university to share with the provincial government and the Immigration Council what our priorities are and what challenges we see our students facing. Of course, the delay in processing times has impacted international students coming to Canada, to Manitoba, and also specifically to U of M. It does have an impact on how competitive we are, post-secondary institutions in Manitoba and in Canada, when we are competing with many other countries that are trying to attract international students. So supports from the province and the federal government in improving application processing, decreasing processing times, and increasing the approval rates are key for us being able to attract more international students. You've heard during the presentations that there is a shortage in many sectors, right, in the labor force. So international students who received a Manitoba education, right, and recognized in the province are a great opportunity for the province to retain them by providing them with employment opportunities after graduation. But if we're not able to attract them, it's going to be very difficult to be able to address the labor market needs. The other aspect that we, presented to the council was the fact that international students no longer have health coverage. And that's also another aspect that we are trying to address because it has an impact on our ability to attract students. They have to pay their own for their own health insurance in the province. So it was a great opportunity for us to share our views, our concerns, and provide recommendations. And now it's up to the council to, I believe they're still receiving input from the public. So I'm looking forward to knowing what the next steps are and what improvements will be made to the system.
Fanny, I think it's very sensitive to deal with international students every day. They have a lot of challenges every day. So how you as a director qualify your teams to deal with these people every day? What is your advice to your team to help these people in the way that makes them feel more positive and interact with our province and don't feel more down or overload?
Yeah, so it's important not to overwhelm students with too much information right when they are arriving. So we're trying to be mindful of the fact that we want them to settle first, to start their courses, and slowly get involved with us. Through orientation week, they learn about opportunities to engage with us. I think it's key that we involved a lot of more experienced domestic and international students as part of our orientation. It's a great opportunity for the new students to meet other more experienced students, to make new friends, and to engage and feel that they belong to a larger community. I have a fantastic team of very experienced advisors and coordinators that have a lot of training. I would say it's important that we listen to students. We really hear them out, what their concerns are, and help them navigate this, very large institution that could also be overwhelming. But as long as, we're there for them and listen to them and really understand where they're coming from and in some cases, what their frustrations are, trying to ease them into, having a conversation with the advisors. They're, as I said, they're super experienced and they're very professional in their conversations. Everything is kept confidential, so that's something very important for us. The privacy of the students and the challenges that they share with us, that's all kept confidential. So yes, so we do our best in creating an environment where they feel safe so they can share their concerns, and we try to find ways to help them solve those issues.
You mentioned earlier in our when we start the conversation about the period of the corona pandemic, and here the question: how was it this period? How this international center was delivering this skills and program during the pandemic, and now they are become in person like slowly, and they still. But tell me about that period. How was it? How it looks like? How the student react in that serious time?
So I wasn't there myself. I joined the center earlier this year, but what I can tell you from the team and what they have shared with me is that they had to pivot as every other, institution in Canada very quickly. So there were hiccups at the beginning, as I'm sure everyone experienced that, but they were able to pivot to remote supports. So everything that we were offering in person, we were able to offer remotely, being one-on-one advising appointments, workshops, group type of activities. Everything happened remotely, and they were able to connect with the advisors on a regular basis when they were facing different challenges. That being said, everyone is very excited about being back on campus. Both staff and students, they really feel more connected by being able to, see other students and meet in person. But I have to say, we are going to continue to offer one-on-one advising sessions, both in person and virtually, because some students are still asking for virtual appointments. So I think that's something that will stay with us. Something that we learned also from the pandemic is that we need to be able to offer options, right, to students. So we have advisors that are doing advising by Zoom or other technology. And then we also have advisors that offer in-person appointments. But this year we had our first in-person orientation after 2 years, and students were super excited about being on campus and meeting new people.
For sure. So I myself, I feel like when we have like this international center for this a huge community for the student today, they make a huge community in the city, and they are a good power, a human power here in the city. And this kind of center will make them more subtle, more engaging, and more confident in Winnipeg. How much you agree with this speech, Fanny?
I totally agree. Regardless of whether they decide to stay in Manitoba and in Canada or return to their countries when they complete their programs, we provide them with opportunities to become better global citizens, regardless of where they choose to live, right? We provide them with opportunities to develop their leadership skills, to engage with the community that, as a whole, not only with U of M, but also community events and opportunities to grow and to learn from each other, which we feel is the most important aspect of the programs that we offer. By interacting and engaging with people from different cultures, we all become better people, better professionals, better global citizens. So we continuously look for new opportunities and new ideas to engage with international students and provide them with the environment to feel that they can grow not only in the classroom, but in other community initiatives, right? That they feel a passion for, or they see an opportunity to also share their own experiences with others.
That sounds perfect. And so this is we reach the end of our episode. Like a final advice from you to the international student, like to wrap up everything. What will be the final words from you to them?
I would say get involved beyond the classroom. We all want them to do exceptionally well in the programs that are taken, but they will feel that their experience is more enriched if they get involved with International Center, with other extracurricular opportunities on campus, being mentorship, peer tutoring, intercultural programs, volunteering with associations and student clubs. That's going for sure enhance their experience at U of M. So I'm hoping that they do that. They reach out to us and to other services and groups on campus.
Fanny Levy, the director of U of M International Center, thank you very much to being here. It was a pleasure. I know your time is very valuable and you are super busy, but thank you very much to being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, we look forward to, hearing from international students.
For sure. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
We reach the end of our episode. Thank you for watching. If you find this episode helpful, please don't hesitate and share it with your friend who face the same challenges and help him to be settled and confident in Winnipeg. So, thank you for watching again. If you like the episode, please like, share, and subscribe to see our upcoming episodes.